starting place is recognizing this is an entirely new category of data. It's not more of the same. It is something different. It is breaching the final frontier of privacy, which is our brains. And if we go into that next step without saying like, ooh, this looks like fun, I think I'll just adopt this newest technology and I'd love to have the insights about whether I'm paying attention or not, but make critical choices and demand together, no, we will not accept this new category of technology without the benefits being clearly articulated for us, developed for us, and safeguarded for us. We can collectively act together in that way. In the meantime, we have choices to make between the products, right? Eventually, there's consolidation in the marketplace. But in the very beginning, there are more products on the marketplace. And between those, if you look at the different privacy policies, they are different. Some of them have very robust privacy policies that say your data is your data. We will not use it, sell it, or use it for any other purposes. Other companies have not developed, like, you'll go to buy a neurotech device and they just have a general website privacy, which has nothing to do with the sensor data that they're collecting and no promises whatsoever about any protection for your sensor data. Don't buy that product. Buy, like, vote with your feet. Buy the product that actually promises you that your data is your data. Those are choices we can make individually to collectively create change and then advocate for change. Right now there's a big UNESCO process underway to try to develop the ethics of neurotechnology. They're asking for feedback from people from around the world through a global consultation process. You can just search ethics of neurotechnology and look for the feedback form, provide your feedback, ask for robust protections. The stronger the 194 member state country voices are in that process, the more likely we are to see real norms around what this should all look like and develop into.
And in the present moment, Professor, do you see us rising up to that challenge? Because it comes to mind one of the examples that you said on the book, on the IKEA experiment that they did with, I think customers used a headband to choose between the rocks, which one is best for them. Yeah. And when they were asked, I think you mentioned this, you said that when they were asked if they were concerned about their privacy, no one ever mentioned a concern whatsoever. And so another piece of a product that comes to mind, and I've done a video on it, also a podcast on it, is the Apple Vision Pro.
Yeah.
It's like those retina, all of the information that the retina gives to everyone, it's mind-boggling, and we don't really read how they're going to use this information in terms of, is it going to be to enhance our medical products? That would be amazing, but is it to just see how the pupil dilates when this UI product is enabled or not? And so how do you see the collective spirits of this in terms of, will we want to opt out or no?
Yeah, I think it's one of the things that was surprising for the Apple Vision Pro, I think, was that, it led to much higher demand than they expected. It was meant to be a pro, right, targeted at a particular class of people, and instead people, quickly went for it. And it's a crude brain-computer interface device, right? It picks up eye tracking, it looks at mental intentionality. Now, Apple has promised to keep that data on device and to, kind of be a privacy-forward company. But they're also a company that sells advertisements, right? And I would like to know the extent to which any of that data is going into or feeding into that advertising ecosystem that supports a lot of what Apple does. Is it informing the App Store? Is it informing Apple News and what my feed is? Is it informing the recommendation systems that come back to me? Or is all of that data kept locked on device and just for purposes of navigating through Apple Vision Pro? Those are the kinds of questions we should be asking, is to say, like, this is new, this is different, and what's happening? What does it mean for data to be on device? That sounds good, but is it good? Like, is it actually giving me the kinds of privacy protections that I want? And so we have to become much more privacy sophisticated to understand that. And we need to support regulatory approaches that are demanding that kind of transparency to figure out, are these promises real? Are they meaningful? And are they protecting the things that we care about?
Yeah, and one of the other venues that come to mind is also ChatGPT and OpenAI, how they just become partners. And it just makes you think, it's not crazy to think they're going to use it in the Apple Vision Pro as well. Yeah. What does that mean for me to because I've always thought of Apple as being the number one company in terms of privacy.
Yeah.
And now it's just...
Yeah, I agree. And I will tell you that their partnership with OpenAI, who, while they are the most advanced foundational model, they certainly seem like they're the least ethically driven company, right? I mean, the whole kerfuffle with Sam Altman and the board, the fact that most of their responsible innovation team has just recently left, and are fleeing to places like Anthropic. What does it mean for Apple to have chosen them as their partner to underlie all of this technology, especially when one of the big issues on responsible innovation is, is all of this data training data? Is eye tracking data suddenly going to be training data for foundational models? What does that mean for us to, train models based on our brain activity and mental states? And is that all going to be, decodable, decipherable? Is it going to reveal a lot more information about us than we want revealed? Is it going to reveal it to Apple? Is it going to reveal it to OpenAI? These are all big and open questions.
Those are questions that truly deserve another podcast in itself.